What is going on, everyone? Why don't we take a look at the Big O, Omaha, Nebraska. The Big O is kind of the unofficial nickname for Omaha. The real nickname is the Gateway to the West, and that came about because of its location during the push west in the 1850s. It was sort of the jumping off point for pioneers heading to California, Oregon, Utah, Colorado, and the rest of the states out that way. And stop typing. St. Louis is also known as the Gateway to the West. They both have it. Let it go. Omaha is home to 400,000 people and 5 Fortune 500 companies, which for most of you is a surprise. If you're not from Omaha, you probably already know that it isn't a bad place to live. Most of the country knows very little about the Big O. A good percent of the population probably have no idea where it is on a map. Here it is right here. Just kidding, here it is right here. When it comes to population, the move in and move out rate in the state of Nebraska is at a loss. For every 100 people that are moving, 53 are leaving while only 47 are moving in. Omaha isn't like the rest of the state. It's closer to 60 inbound for 40 outbound. You might be thinking about making that move to Omaha right now. But before you pack up the wagon, you should watch my top 10 reasons not to move to Omaha, Nebraska. Number 10, taxes. There are taxes everywhere, and I get that. The Nebraska state sales tax is only 5.5%, which is relatively low when you compare it to places like San Francisco, New York, Los Angeles. Those places charge you your firstborn in taxes just to buy a frickin' car. In Omaha, they also have an additional local tax rate, which brings up the whole sales tax thing to 7%. Now, that wouldn't be bad if they just stopped there, but they also have a pretty high property tax of 1.83%. Now, when you get all that together, all in all, it's not terrible. It isn't terrible if you live someplace where you'd expect that kind of treatment, like California, New York, San Francisco, and even Hawaii. This is Omaha. Omaha, Nebraska. Living cheap is one of the main reasons people move to Middle America, or stay in Middle America. Number 9, lack of public transportation. Many major cities throughout the country have mastered public transportation. Omaha is far from one of them. Within the city, there's only the Omaha Rapid Bus Transit, or the ORBT, and that's the only thing offered. No light rail, no streetcar. They do have an Amtrak station, but that's not going to help you get across town. You'd think with all those Fortune 500 companies in Omaha, they'd demand it for their employees. I get the feeling they'd go back to horses before they'd get a light rail system. Number 8, potholes. During the wintertime, the roads get pretty beat up by the weather. By the time the snow melts and the spring gets here, there's always fresh new potholes that'll ruin your day. This wouldn't be an issue if the Omaha city government would actually fix them. They don't. And it's not like you have a whole bunch of options to get around the city. Like I said, they only got that bus thing, no train or anything. You need a car, and you need to keep a little extra money in savings for alignments and things like tires and such. Number 7, it's frickin' boring. Many residents and visitors complain that there's nothing much to do in Omaha. They're not close to any mountains, lakes, oceans, amusement parks. I mean, you can only go to the same Waffle House or country western bar a handful of times before you find yourself crying in the parking lot while you reflect on your life and what you did wrong in a past life to put you in Omaha. Sitting there thinking to yourself, I must have been a really bad horse breeder or something. Number 6, the weather. The weather in Omaha just sucks. Unless, of course, you already live in Alaska, the Arctic Circle, or Vermont. Well, in that case, it's kind of pleasant. But for everyone else, the weather here blows. In the winters, temperatures can get as low as 10 degrees or lower with the wind chill factor and all that, making you feel like you probably should have moved to like Arizona or the sun. Summers are slightly better with the temperatures rising to about 90 degrees. The only downside is August is the month they get most of their rain, and it's about 6 inches. So now you have August, which is hot, humid, lightning storms, which is always a good time. And of course, you always have the possibility of a tornado here in Omaha. Isn't that fun? Number 5, bad driving. Omaha drivers are some of the worst in the country. Since the way of life here is kind of laid back and country-ish, the residents tend to drive a little bit slower than the speed limit, which could aggravate a lot of people from other states. There's also a ton of complaints about drivers lacking the ability to merge. I have 2 friends that are cross-country truckers. They both confirmed Omaha is one of the top 5 places they hate driving anywhere near. Out of 75 of the most populous cities, Omaha has the most reckless driving tickets, DUIs, and citations for distracted driving. Good times in Omaha. Number 4, the food scene. The food scene in Omaha is, well, it's not really a thing. They don't really have one. And it may be due to a couple things, the lack of diversity, or maybe the fact that microwave dinners here are huge. This is the home of the TV dinner. In 1954, C.A. Swanson and Sons invented the TV dinner. The rest of the country was inventing cool things like tetracycline, optic fibers, computer hard drives, and modems. Omaha invented a way to eat horrible airline food in the privacy of your own home. In Omaha today, it's estimated that 23% of the population eats a microwave dinner every single day. There's also a major amount of weight loss centers here. They may have something to do with each other. I don't know. Maybe with those weight loss centers, they could do a crossover promotion thing with some drug and alcohol rehab places. They might be able to, they might not be on this list in a few years. They might have better food and less DUIs. Who knows? Maybe they can get Geico again. Number 3, it's flat. You're not going to find any interesting scenery in Omaha. The highest elevation of the city is only 1,000 feet, which also is the highest elevation in the entire city. From this, we can tell that there's hardly any hills within the city, so good luck trying to go mountain biking or hiking. This is not the place you want to go for a hike. You might as well just go wander around a field someplace, because that's your best option for some outdoor activities here. And I'm sure you can go to a monster truck pull or something like that, but as far as going for a hike or mountain biking and things like that, no, doesn't happen in Omaha. Number 2, crime. Omaha has crime just like any other major city. There are 4,500 crimes per 100,000 residents, which brings the overall crime rate to 65% higher than the national average. The hell, Omaha? You're America's heartland. You're not supposed to have any major crime. The total year-over-year crime has increased 10% over the last 10 years. One recent incident included a group of thieves who stole a resident's retaining wall, brick by brick. Yes, they're stealing bricks in Omaha. It's not like these are gold or silver bricks. They're not even new bricks. These idiots stole old used bricks. They need some wealth management classes or something if they're that desperate. Doesn't even make sense. And number 1. Cornhusker fans. Nebraska doesn't have a professional football team like a handful of other states, so football fans in Omaha, and pretty much all of Nebraska, focus all that football fan energy into the University of Nebraska Cornhuskers. And before you say it, stop typing. I know the school's up there in Lincoln. It doesn't matter. Omaha's infested with their fans too. Now, why is this bad? That depends on you. They are a great football team and a great university. Always a top tier program. It's really not them. It's the fans. They are 90% of the time obsessed. They got the flags, shirts, car decals, tattoos, and the ever-present idiot who feels the need to yell, "Go Big Red," wherever they may be. Walmart, a school play, Chuck E. Cheese, church, back of a police car, while drunk driving, while reading the auto insurance cancellation notice, anywhere. They're just plain nuts. And if you move there, you'll have to deal with this stupidity daily, I'm sure. I saw someone yell, "Go Big Red" 3 times. I was only there 5 hours. And it wasn't even the same dude. Alright, so that's my top 10 reasons not to move to Omaha, Nebraska. I hope you guys enjoyed it. In reality, Omaha and the entire state of Nebraska is a really good state. They just got some quirks like everyone else and some problems that they might be able to get over someday, but not really a big deal. All in all, it's a good state, good people. These are just some of the things you might want to keep in mind before you move there. Don't forget all the links below. Subscribe if you already haven't. Leave me a comment. Tell me what I missed. Everybody have a great day. Be nice to each other.